on one side and we have x's on both sides of the equal sign and numbers on both sides of the equal sign. In order to solve for x, we need to get x on one side of the equal sign like we did in the other problem example, and then we need to get the number on the other side. So I like to, whenever I have this situation, I like to focus on my x's first, my letter first, or my x's. So I'm going to do the opposite of this x on this side because I want x on the left side. So I'm going to do the opposite of the x on the right side. Opposite of x is minus x. What you do to one side, you do to the other. These cancel. 2x minus x is like saying 2x minus 1x. Because anytime there's nothing in front of the letter, it's technically a 1. So I have just x, 1x or just x. I'm going to bring down the plus 4 because that wasn't canceled. Make sure you keep the equal sign in the middle. And then on the right side, we have 7. All right, we want to get x alone. We want to solve for x. We have addition. Opposite of addition is subtraction. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So then we have x equals 7 minus 4, 7 plus negative 4 is positive 3. So x equals 3. All right, pause the video. Try this problem on your own on the whiteboard. If you have any questions or cannot figure out how to do this problem, let me know. Remember, whenever you have letters on both sides, think about how to get the letter on one side of the equal sign. Then think about how to get the number on the other side of the equal sign, doing the opposite of whatever the sign is. For example, opposite of x was negative x. Opposite of positive 4 was negative 4. All right, let's go ahead and do the next problem. We have 3x minus 3 equals 2x plus 5. All right, we have, again, x's on both sides and numbers on both sides of the equal sign, and we want to get the goal is get x, in order to solve for x, get x on one side of the equal sign, number on the other side. Again, I'm going to just focus on my x's. I like to eliminate the right one on the right side so I can get it on the left side. Opposite of 2x is minus 2x. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. 3x minus 2x is 1x, or the same thing as x. Bring down the minus 3, bring down the equal, and then we have 5. All right, we want x alone. We have subtraction. Opposite of subtraction is addition. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So you have x equals 5 plus 3, 5 plus positive 3, which is a positive 8. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this problem on your own. If you're having difficulty solving it, that means you need to ask me for help. If you have no problems, let's do the next example. Again, remember, get x on one side, or unknown on one side, number on the other side, by doing the opposite of the sign. All right, sometimes they use a different letter than x, so let's see here. We have 3a minus 3 equals 4a minus 5. Okay, so again, I like to eliminate when I have letters on both sides and numbers on the both sides. I like to eliminate my letter here because I like my letter on the left side. Opposite of 4a is negative 4a. What you do to one side, you do to the other. These cancel. All right, so we have 3a minus 4a, or 3 plus negative 4a, which is a negative 1a. I'm going to put negative 1a. Actually, I'm going to put negative a. Negative 1a is the same thing as negative a. bring down the minus 3, bring down the equal, bring down the negative 5. All right, so we're going to get that negative a alone by doing the opposite of minus 3, because we have subtraction here, so we're going to do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. So you do to one side, do to the other side of the equal sign. These cancel. I have negative a equals negative 5 plus 3, which is negative 2. Okay, so problem's almost done, but we don't want negative a. We want a. So how do we find out what does a equal? Here's a trick. Negative a is like saying the opposite of a is negative 2. So a must be, well, what's the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. And now the problem's complete because I solved for a. All right, so whenever you have a problem like this, remember, get the letter on one side by doing the opposite of the sign. Get the number on the other side of the equal sign by doing opposite of the sign. When you come up with a negative letter, make it positive by doing the opposite. Negative a equals negative 2 is the same thing as saying opposite of a is negative 2. So a has to be 2 because it's opposite of negative 2. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this problem on the whiteboard. If you're having any trouble, make sure to ask me for help. All right, so let's continue. Once you're done, go ahead and do the next example. All right. We have 3x minus 8 equals 2x plus 16. All right, we got x's on both sides. Let's do the opposite of the one on the right side. Opposite of 2x is minus 2x. What you do to one side, you do to the other. 3x minus 2x is just x. Then bring 1x or just x. Bring down the minus 8. Bring down the equal. Bring down the 16. All right, let's get x alone. Opposite of subtraction, addition. What you do to one side, do to the other. So we have x equals 16 plus positive 8 is 24. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this problem on your whiteboard. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have no problems, go ahead and watch the last example. All right, this one's a little bit different because this time we have negatives in front of our x unknowns. All right, so let's talk about this. So again, I like to eliminate my unknowns on the right side of the equal sign. So I'm doing the opposite of minus x, which is plus x. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. These cancel. We technically have negative 2x plus 1x, which is negative 1x or just negative x. We're going to bring down the plus 8. We're going to bring down the equal. And we're going to bring down the 2. Now I want to get negative x alone, so I have, goal is getting the x alone. So I have addition, I'm going to do subtraction on both sides. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. I'm going to have plus right here, because 2 minus 8 is the same thing as 2 plus negative 8. So I have negative x equals 2 plus negative 8 is negative 6. Now remember, we don't want negative x. We want x. So I'm going to, negative x is like saying opposite of x is negative 6. So what's the opposite of negative 6? Positive 6. And now the problem is complete. All right, go ahead and pause the video, try this problem on your own. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise now, go ahead and do all the problems that you are assigned to do on this packet. After you are complete, the next part will be word problems, but we will be doing the test before the word problems. Again, let me know if you have any questions. You got this.